Michael in Valrico, Florida. This is See More Better with free prescription lenses. And today I'm going to cut your 11th pair of progressive invisible bifocals that you've gotten from me within the last year to year and a half. And I do thank you. With 12, you get an egg roll. So he loves his Tom Fords. I'm not a Tom Ford dealer, so he has mailed me his frame. This is the POF, stands for Patient's Own Frame, Tom Ford 5303 in the color 2. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to take it out of the gift box that it comes in. The cute little fuzzy Tom Ford case. Of course, inside it's still got his Tom Ford cleaning cloth. And this is the frame, beautifully made, classic styling. And let's begin. So one thing he has done is I need to know the height of the invisible bifocal, so he always takes a marker and puts a dot on the lens that tells me where to place the height of that. So let me pop out the original demo lenses and put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. But first, Michael, you are programmed. This frame is going to be number 518. You are Secret Agent 518. Years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, you won't have to send it back to me. It is programmed into the computer. I'm going to hit the trace button. And a little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic frame from me, of which I do not sell Tom Ford, but any other frame you buy from me, you'll get one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you'll get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. That is the shape we'll be cutting. Let's move on to the next screen. Your pupillary distance for the right eye is 33. The computer starts at 32.5, so I only have to tap the plus button one time to bring it up to 33. I want to bring the OC height up to 27. The computer halfway is 19.5, so I'm going to tap that until we get up to 27. There we go. Now I've already gone ahead and prepped your lenses. They come with yellow paint on there to help me identify where the height of the lens goes. I've cleaned that off, and I'm going to change this layout screen to that of a progressive, which is another name for invisible bifocal. 3327, put that up there, and get everything lined up. That center dot, which you're going to look through, those two dots tells me that it's lined up in there, which is very critical with your prescription, because you because you have higher than average astigmatism, but that's not what I'm saying about. I need to take a block. You've seen me do this before, so I've got a couple with the stickers already on there. I'm going to go ahead and peel that away to make the black side sticky. On the back is a silver button that is a magnet. It's going to line up with another magnet there in the arm. Place that there. Drop that one there. Don't need that. Now let's line everything back up again. Center dot, and then those two tell me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. Hit the button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet there. Your pupillary distance for your left eye is 32. It has already mirrored the right, so we're going to back that down and hit the minus button twice, and we're going to stick there. Yes, it's early in the morning. It is now 8:13, Thursday, March 22nd, 36 degrees in my hometown. And the emails are starting to roll in about people wanting glasses. You will hear my phone ding a few times. So, hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now, had this not been marked, I would have marked it. But if anyone has missed anything, let me recap. Oh, you know you're not getting away without hearing that joke in every single one of my videos. Oh, look, see? Block came off. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Good, I get one extra little sticky thing. Throw you back. So here, this is what you missed. Take a double-sided adhesive sticker, put it onto the block. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now, one thing I'm going to do, pull up the lens I've been working on, that little red circle. We'll pull everything back up. It likes to block two lenses at a time, so we'll do the right lens. And we'll do the left lens again. Now the Crizal anti-glare coating, super hydrophobic coating that he got, and that's why the blocks come off a little bit easier on a Crizal lens than a non-Crizal lens. Line everything up, put the block on there. Let's press that on there firm this time. Okay, so this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It's $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this silly guy to come in and do it for you in the morning. I'm going to wake up the computer. That is the shape we'll be cutting. This is Secret Agent 518. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarbonate. You know, polycarbonate gets a bad rap. People say, but Michael has been wearing this. This is pair number 11. He has a very high amounts of astigmatism, almost twice the average, and he gets by just fine with polycarbonate. So let that be a lesson out there to all you Trivex pushers. So I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it won't be seen in this frame. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to go ahead and press the block on there a little bit harder. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. Well, actually, let me show you what's inside. This is a diamond crusted wheel. This is what's going to grind your lens down until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put that channel, that little valley, onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So now the magnet is going to do its job a second time today. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. That's right, free bad jokes with every pair of glasses sold. Hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every radius on the lens to know exactly where and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. I can override that if I wanted to, but I can move the bevel forwards or backwards. I know it looks like it's going the opposite direction, but if I move the bevel forwards, it'll be on the front of the lens, which forces it further back in the frame. Or if I move the bevel backwards, it forces the lens further out of the front of the frame, which I rarely do. But I could override that, but the computer's going to do all that for me. So if you see light flickering in the background, that is water to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off of the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now, water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away that optical debris, the optical sawdust that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lenses. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. They are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high impact ballistics grade lenses, and they have 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. So we know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Well, your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, there in Valrico, Florida. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, the other nice thing about this lets me demonstrate. When I mention astigmatism, you have 2 powers in your eye. As you see me do in the videos, you have a spherical component, which is 1 curve. You have a second curve on your eye, which is the astigmatism, which goes by the initial cylinder, the abbreviation SIL. Excuse me. It means you have a second curve on your eye. That's how you line those 2 curves up. So on this lens, you can see how it is bowl-shaped. You have 1 curve on your eye, which is the thicker part of the lens. This is the -2 of the, actually, this is plano for the left eye. You have a curve going this way, which is a flatter curve. Now 90 degrees from that, you have another curve that's even steeper. So that's why when we rotate the lens, you see that this is curved much more. That is 5 diopters of astigmatism. That is the different curvatures in the lenses. So this lens really does get a chance to show that, how it's bowl shaped. Your lenses are thin in the center, thicker at the edges. So the further you go from the center of the lens outward, the thicker the lens will be. Now in this frame, you won't have any edge thickness. I've cut many frames for you that were larger than this, and I believe the next one that you sent me, because you've already sent it, I've ordered the lenses for job number 12. Somehow I'm going to ship an egg roll back to you, which is a token of my appreciation, but I think when you open the box, it's not going to smell too good. So which, you know, is like me. What more example can you have? Okay, folks, this is TMI. My wife's nickname for me is Stink Bug, because I do a really good impersonation of a stink bug. Y'all want to see? But if you don't believe me, here's something new. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get a magnifying lens out here. She had engraved into my wedding band, hopefully the camera will pick that up, it says Stink Bug in there. Can y'all see that? Is it through the top? But that's the engraving that is in my wedding band. That is my special power. Oh, another ring on my phone. Okay, so water has sprayed, washed away all the optical debris, hopefully, that I will now open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just can't think of any new jokes. But all I have to do is stare at ice for a couple hours and I can melt it with my mind, providing I'm outside in warm weather. I like melting ice with my mind. The only time I don't like melting it is when it's in my drink and it makes my little umbrella start to shift. I like it where it stays to the right or to the left, or back in the glass, or forward towards me. Come to think of it, I like just having an umbrella in my beverage. And speaking of which, it is now 8:21, so by 8:25 I should be able to start drinking. Alright, so I'm going to tuck this in at the outside corner, push down with my thumbs. Oh, the block came off, so it's still a little too large. We're going to go old school. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to L. I'm going to take that down 1/10 of a millimeter, press that on there firmly, hit the green arrow. Just like before, the door is going to close, the clamp's going to shut, and then the lens is going to be traced again by the 2 white styluses, making sure that it's, first off, large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around, tracing the shape of the left lens this time, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel for the least amount of edge thickness showing. And if I can get this in there, there won't be. Block, you failed me. So we're going to go old school. We're going to come down here to my handstone and I'm going to go old school optician. Can I turn on the radio, play a little CD for you? And I'm going to, there's a little bevel here, just like the bevel wheel on the edger. I was pointing like you could see me. And I'm going to go around and take the lens down little by little until it fits into the frame. Now, even though Mike's getting his 12th pair of lenses for me, his daughter has started opticianry school in Florida. Her program director is Lori Pierce, who I have tremendous respect for. I always try and see her when she's lecturing on the continuing ed circuit. She has inspired me in my career. I am just a little peon compared to what she's accomplished in her lifetime. But Mike's daughter's learning from one of the best. I hope I don't lose him as a customer. In fact, I'm doing my best. Mike, I'm serious. I want to recruit your daughter to come work for me when she graduates from school. Look at that. And that's how you pop it in there. Her daughter's learning how to do that. Now here's the other thing. The optical center has come off. So let's go old school again. This is why we have this lamp. Every invisible bifocal has a little laser mark to show where the, little engravings to show me where the offset is. Plus, it tells me the add of the bifocal strength on there. This layout chart, the Verilux Essilor lenses, I put those 2 dots over those dots for the right lens. And that's how I know exactly where the optical center height and his PD. So we're going to come down here to the lensometer, spin the axis wheel to 007. I like that, Mike. Put it in above the black dot I just put there. And grab my flashlight. We're going to read that. You got to turn it on. You know, these high-tech machines, you still got to turn them on first thing in the morning. And we are getting -2. That is because the unit of measurement in the optical world that we use for powers is called a diopter. You have 8 steps. Everything's in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. You're on the 8th rung of a ladder. You are nearsighted with your glasses off, nearsighted in your right eye. With your glasses off, everything is much too large. That's why there's a minus sign. Your lenses will minify down to the correct size. Now, once you have the images the correct size. We have to take away the fuzzy edges. That's what the astigmatism does. It makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F if it's uncorrected. So we're gonna, we subtracted 2, we're gonna subtract another 4 1/4, and if all goes well, we end up at -6 1/4, and that's where we're at. That's because if someone had borrowed $2 from you, then they borrowed another 4 1/4, they would owe you $6.25. 6 1/4 in the red. Now your left eye is purely astigmatic, meaning you don't need any farsighted or nearsighted correction. You just need 20 steps of astigmatism correction. And now this last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. That is the fine-tune knob. That's exactly where we turn those, match those two curves up so everything is nice and crisp. The fine-tune knob's at 7 for your right eye, 166 for your left. Now you would think 7 and 166 are very far apart, but when you think of a straight line 0 to 90 to 180, for your right eye, you're 7 degrees above the 180 mark. Your left eye at 166, you're 14 degrees away from the 180 meridian. So really there's only 7 degrees separating your right eye from your left. How about that? Now, it sounds like your left lens is about done. I hope it plays by the rules. Let's open that up, dry that off. And what I should have done before, again, press down on that block, use my thumbnail to wipe away any optical debris, any schwarf. And since your daughter's in school, I had one of my professors use the term schwarf one day, and I had to raise my hand and call BS. Say I'd never heard that term. And yeah, they made me open my textbook in front of everyone in the class and find it and read the definition out loud. And so now I read and pay attention, and I don't raise my hand and call BS if I don't have the facts behind me. So that is a real word that I had to prove in front of everyone. Oh, those boot camp days. So I've put the lens in at the outside corner using my thumb. I press down the nose. It does not want to go in, so I'm going to actually press that back down on there. Take this down another 1/10 of a millimeter, so we're at -0.20. That is 1/5 of a millimeter total. Hit retouch. The door is going to close. You know, I should do this on the handstone, just for old school days, and in case anyone in your daughter's class is watching, although they've got enough on their plate. Why would they be watching this video? Now, the old timers that trained me, they used to have to take a glass lens in order to pass the state board exam. They would take a glass lens. This is something that Lori Pierce had to do in her day. But take a glass lens and edge it down. It was cut too large for this frame, and they would have to do exactly just that on the handstone. Glass is a different material to work with than what I've been using. In fact, it's gone by the way of the dinosaur. There's a few non-prescription sunglass lenses like the Ray-Bans that I send. That's the only time you will see a glass lens. Most prescriptions are not glass anymore because we live in a litigious country, a lawsuit-driven country. If you open a cabinet door, you're walking in the woods, someone ahead of you moves a branch, it flies back, hits you in the face, that glass lens cracks, slices your eye open, game over. You have 7 layers on your cornea. The outer layer will heal, the other 6 will not. So if you scratch, and I mean the layer of your cornea is thinner than this. There's 7 layers, and your daughter will tell you what the 7 layers are, starting with epithelium, going all the way down to the endothelium. Let's see if I can embarrass myself and name them all. Nope, I can't. I know there's the stroma, Bowman's membrane, Decimet's layer, there's a couple more, but if you scratch anything or cut below that first layer, your eye will never heal. So that's why I like to use polycarbonate. It is the safest of all materials. I know Trivex, they're pushing it really hard now, for one, because insurance does not pay for a Trivex. So in managed care, meaning the people who take health insurance, they're really going to push the Trivex so they can make extra money off of you. It's also thicker than poly. It has finally gotten the same. Okay, I'm gonna go old school. Let's not waste time anymore. Let's take this block off. We're gonna come down here to the handstone, and we're gonna go around, taking little by little off this lens. But Trivex is a way for most doctors' offices to charge more money. when you accept insurance, you never get reimbursed the amount. Let's say that they pay $100 for your lenses, where they're only going to reimburse about $50. So the reason why they charge Trivex is to get more money out of you. And it's not really the practice's fault. They're there to stay in business, and they can't stay in business if they lose money by selling glasses using your insurance. Now, the reason I can do it is that I will give you an itemized receipt that you can file for out-of-network reimbursement. That way I stay in business, the insurance companies stay in business, and you end up keeping a little bit more money in your pocket. Plus, I don't charge as much as most doctors' offices do. They also have to charge that much because they know they're going to be giving you a tremendous discount based on your insurance. And they've got a lot more overhead than I do. Plus, since they don't cut their own lenses, they have to hire someone else to do it. I know, you blinking phone. I'll get to your emails in a moment. Everybody out there is wanting to buy glasses, and I thank you. Now again, if you miss any of that, let me recap. 2 bad jokes in every video. So we're going to turn the fine tune knob to 166. Oh, 166. There we are. How come there's no Route 166? Actually, there probably is. There's no TV show about it. We're going to read the power. Where's that spherical line? I got to move it a lot to find you. There you are. We're getting 0 and -5 astigmatism. We're going to turn that until, look at that wheel keep turning, and then we end up at -5. So that is cut perfectly. Now this is the point in every video that as I go and clean your lenses, well, first let me measure your pupillary distance. 33 for your right eye, 32 for your left, for a total of 65. Let me turn the card around. From this dot to this dot, it's going to be 65 millimeters. That is cut perfectly. Let me check the optical center height, which is 27. Now from the dot to the center of the frame, we are getting 27 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Same thing for this one, 27 millimeters. Man, the kit is good. I couldn't have done any better if I'd done it myself. Now where is this? This one is bent a little bit. I'm going to get this straightened out for you. Of course, this may have already been pre-adjusted for you, but I'll work on it some more. But let me go ahead and clean everything up for you. And just in case this has been pre-adjusted for you, normally I would pre-adjust all the glasses to make sure they're in standard alignment, but I don't know if these have been adjusted for you already, so I may not want to mess with this too much. But you know, most optical shops, a little bit of Schwarf there on the lens, most optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. And of course your daughter's learning all of this, and she'll be more than happy to take care of you now that you have a personal optician in the family. Actually, let me use yours. So I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. I don't want to send out a defective one, although there are no defective. Although I say there's no defective ones. I got one time, there was a big hole cut out of the center when I pulled it out of the box. What's up with that? And so when you get this in the mail and you see a little wrinkle, you know that it works. So that is it. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook or Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. You can follow me on Twitter at freerxlenses. So, Michael, I appreciate you getting your 11th pair of invisible bifocals from me. This is this time it was cut in your Tom Ford 5313 color 2, which is the shiny black, and the 55 eye size matte black, excuse me, matte black. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.